They don't want you to know the truth. They want you to stay asleep, distracted, divided, and powerless. But America was not built by the silent, the weak, or the fearful. It was built by those who stood up when everyone else sat down, who spoke out when everyone else stayed quiet. And now, once again, the country stands at a crossroads, one road leading to power, the other to decline. The so-called experts, the talking heads, and the corrupt elites, they laugh when someone dares to challenge their control. They think the people will forget that the fire inside America is gone. But it's not gone. It's burning stronger than ever. The spirit of freedom, strength, and pride cannot be silenced by fake headlines or empty promises. This is not about politics anymore. It's about survival. When a nation forgets who it is, it loses everything. When leaders bow to pressure instead of standing tall for their people, they lose respect at home and abroad. But strength, real strength, commands respect. And that is what this new movement is all about, bringing power back to the people, not the politicians. The truth is simple. America doesn't need more speeches. It needs action. It needs courage. It needs leaders who don't apologize for loving their country. The strategy is not a secret. It's about making the people believe again, fight again, and win again. Because when America believes, nothing in the world can stop it. The media will scream, the critics will panic, but history will remember who had the courage to tell the truth when it wasn't popular. This is the warning, not of fear, but of awakening. Because once the people rise, once the truth breaks through the noise, there is no going back. America's best days are not behind. They're waiting just ahead. And the fighters, the dreamers, the patriots, they're the ones who will lead the way. When a nation forgets what made it great, it begins to lose its way. The warning signs are all around, but too many pretend not to see them. The economy is slowing, the streets are restless, families are struggling, and yet the people are told everything is fine. But deep down, everyone knows something is wrong. The strength that once defined America is being replaced by hesitation, by confusion, by a culture that rewards weakness over effort and excuses over excellence. A country cannot survive on denial. It survives on truth, on courage, and on action. America must wake up before it's too late, because history shows that once freedom fades, it rarely returns easily. There was a time when this nation led by example, not by apology. People took pride in hard work, in faith, and loyalty to their flag. They believed in something bigger than themselves. But now, that pride is being attacked from every angle. The media sells division, schools teach guilt instead of greatness, and politicians play games while the people pay the price. The warning is clear. If this continues, the America we know will become a memory. The world is watching, waiting to see if this generation has the strength to stand up and fight for what it believes. Every empire that fell started by losing its identity. The fall doesn't begin with a war. It begins with forgetting who you are. That's what's happening today. The enemies of truth don't need to destroy America from the outside. They are doing it from within, one weak decision at a time. But there is still hope. The spirit of this country is too powerful to be erased. The people who built it, the dreamers, the fighters, the believers, are still here, and they are not going to stay silent any longer. The call to wake up is not about politics, it's about survival. It's about remembering that strength earns peace, courage inspires progress, and unity restores greatness. The clock is ticking, and the world won't wait for America to find itself again. The time to rise is now, not tomorrow, because tomorrow may be too late. When a nation remembers its strength, no enemy can defeat it, no lie can control it, and no power can stop it from reclaiming its destiny. Strength has always been the foundation of respect. The world does not admire the weak. It admires those who stand firm when others fall. A nation that loses its strength loses its voice, and a leader who bows to pressure loses the trust of his people. History has proven time and again that peace is not kept by promises. It's kept by power. When strength fades, chaos takes its place. Enemies grow bold, allies grow uncertain, and the people begin to question whether anyone is still willing to fight for them. Strength is not just about military might, it's about moral courage, economic confidence, and the will to protect what is right no matter who stands against it. The truth is simple. Weakness never brings peace, it only invites disaster. When a country starts apologizing for its success, when it hesitates to defend its borders, when it puts comfort before character, the foundation begins to crack. The moment leaders start worrying more about being liked than being respected, the moment they choose political correctness over principle, that's when chaos finds its way in. The strong lead the world. The weak follow its noise. That's why strength is not arrogance, it's protection. It's the barrier that keeps freedom safe and keeps order alive. Respect cannot be demanded. It must be earned through conviction, through courage, through results. The world respects those who act with clarity and confidence. Every time America showed strength, it created stability. Every time it showed weakness, it invited trouble. That is the balance of power, and it has never changed. The same truth applies to individuals. Those who stand firm, who refuse to be broken by doubt, are the ones who shape their destiny. Strength begins in the heart before it shows in the world. The message is clear. Strength is not just a choice, it is a responsibility. A strong nation defends its people, protects its values, and leads by example. Weakness brings confusion, hesitation, and collapse. The world does not respect words, it respects action. The time for hesitation is over. It is time to be strong again, not for pride, but for survival. Because when strength rises, respect follows, and when respect is restored, chaos disappears. The media was once the voice of truth, but now it has become the weapon of manipulation. Instead of informing the people, it shapes what they are allowed to believe. It hides behind fancy studios and smiling anchors, pretending to care about honesty while pushing the stories that fit its agenda. The truth is dangerous to those who profit from lies, and that is why the media fears it so deeply. When people begin to think for themselves, the power of manipulation begins to crumble. The media doesn't fear chaos, it fears awakening. It fears a nation that no longer listens to its spin, but demands real answers and real accountability. They use distraction as their strongest tool. They talk about everything except what truly matters. They stir anger, push division, and sell fear because fear keeps people quiet. The louder the truth becomes, the harder they work to silence it. They label it misinformation, they censor it, they twist it until it no longer looks like the truth at all. But truth has a way of surviving, no matter how many walls they build around it. The people are starting to see through the act. They're learning that those who talk most about protecting democracy are often the ones trying hardest to control it. The media knows that truth cannot be controlled because truth exposes everything it hides: corruption, hypocrisy, and the betrayal of the people's trust. That's why it attacks those who speak up. It calls them extremists, radicals, and liars, hoping the public will turn away before they listen. But the awakening has already begun. The more they try to bury the truth, the stronger it grows. The internet, independent voices, and fearless individuals are breaking the monopoly of information, and the media cannot stop it. The message is simple. The people deserve honesty, not programming. They deserve facts, not filtered narratives. When truth is free, the people are free. The media has forgotten that its job is to serve the nation, not rule it. The power belongs to the people, not to a handful of corporations deciding what reality should look like. The truth will always rise because it answers to no one, and when the truth finally breaks through their walls, no force on earth will be able to control it. The future has never been written by those who waited for permission. It has always been shaped by the ones who refused to settle, who stood tall when the crowd sat in silence. The world does not remember those who followed orders blindly. It remembers those who fought for something bigger than themselves. Every great movement, every transformation, every victory began with a fighter. Someone who believed that one voice, one stand, one act of courage could change everything. The future belongs to those who are willing to challenge the impossible, to break limits, and to face resistance without fear. Followers wait for change. Fighters create it. Followers ask for direction. Fighters make their own path. The difference between success and surrender is not talent. It's the will to fight when others give up. In every generation, there comes a time when comfort becomes the enemy, when playing it safe means losing everything. That time is now. The world is changing fast, and those who sit back will be left behind. The future will not reward hesitation or doubt. It will reward those who dare to move forward, no matter the risk. Fighters don't fear failure because they understand that every setback is a lesson, not an ending. They don't wait for approval because they know the crowd only cheers once victory is already won. They fight because they believe in freedom, in truth, in their country, and in themselves. The followers say, someone should do something. The fighters say, I will. That is the spirit that builds nations, drives innovation, and keeps hope alive even in the darkest times. The future is calling for strength, vision, and action. It belongs to those who keep standing when they're knocked down, to those who see challenges as opportunities, and to those who lead not because it's easy, but because it's right. The road ahead will not be simple. There will be critics, there will be losses, and there will be doubt. But the fighters will rise above it as they always have. Because the future does not belong to those who wait for instructions. It belongs to those who take charge, who fight with conviction, and who refuse to let their destiny be written by anyone else.